Hey, what's up, guys? Houston here. Hey, I just wanted to talk about Car Putty. And Car Putty is the lender, the new car lender that gives you up to $800,000 line of credit up to 24 months. Okay. Now, this is very interesting because they say that credit is not always a factor. As a matter of fact, it does help to have established credit, but at the same time, it's all about income revenue. All right. Now, here's the thing that you definitely should know about this because this is very important because a lot of people don't know this, and I'm going to answer some questions that people have been asking, right? So you have one lender. So say that you wanted to buy multiple vehicles. On average, I've seen people get anywhere from $50 up to $250,000 with this here company, okay? And when they get this here type of money, just say that you're trying to start a Toro business, right? So this is a great opportunity if you're trying to start a Toro business, right? Because where you would have to go to like a Bank of America and you can apply for multiple loans with them or whatever, where this here, you only apply once, right? And to be able to get access to the funding to buy multiple cars, okay? So that's one way that they're actually beating the banks. Now, unfortunately, like their interest rates are usually higher than the banks as well as the credit unions, okay? So those are some of the basic benefits, but like I said, I'm finna answer some questions that I know a lot of you guys have, and I think it's going to help clarify this. Now, in terms of the credit history, so you must have at least averaging about a 680 credit score, 2 years of credit history, okay? So that's one thing. Can you put a cosigner on the loan? It doesn't say you can't, so I'm assuming that you possibly can add a cosigner. So if you don't have a 680 and you're trying to get access to this, it's possibly. Now, talking about income and debt to income ratio. Now, this is where a lot of people end up missing out because they do look at your DTI, debt to income ratio. All right. Now, here's the thing about it. When you get approved for this loan, okay, or this line of credit, it doesn't report to the credit bureaus. So this is the great thing about this is because by it not reporting to the credit bureau, say that you're trying to get a house or you're trying to get like a construction loan to buy, to build an Airbnb or something like that, right? This here is like a silent loan. It's in the back end. And it doesn't report to the credit bureau. The only time it reports to the credit bureau is like if you're late, right? But say that, let's talk about numbers so that we can have a better, say that you have $100,000. They give you $100,000 line of credit, okay? You go to the dealership with this $100,000 line of credit, and you can buy multiple vehicles. Now, I know some people are like, well, is it just for cars? Well, say that you wanted to start a trucking business. So you can use it for a trucking business. Motorcycles. Hey, what are those, like those trike type of things? They're even using these lines of credit to buy those and rent those out. Just long as you're making payments for that. Now, again, this line of credit is open for 24 months, but the good thing about it, you pay the line of credit down and it builds right back up as you make the payments. So the thing about it, you always have this open revolving line of credit that you're able to do to continue to invest, right? So that's just a few things, but we're finna really dive into this. Now, they do a soft pull on the credit file, okay? So they'll let you know how much you're pre-approved for and stuff like that. And then once you accept the pre-approval, then they do a hard pull on your Experian FICO 8. All right. Now, again, like I said, the biggest thing that they look at is your DTI, debt to income ratio. So you have to prove that you have a good cash flow. Now, this is all on the personal side. However, say that you have an established LLC that's over 1 year old. Okay, now you can apply with that LLC over 1 year old, but at the same time, you still have to use your personal credit. Okay, so say that you're trying to do Toro. They say that you should be on Toro for at least 6 months. You should be like an all-star host on Toro. Okay, now this is coming from them. So for especially like people like, well, I can buy a Toro, I can buy a fleet of cars and stuff like that. Especially in a climate where the banks are starting to tighten up and stuff like that. To be able to get qualified for this type of line of credit will definitely help you. All right. So like I said, you can use it to buy semis, motorcycle, recreational, work vehicles. It doesn't even say that you can't buy a boat with it. So I guess you can even buy a boat with it. So if you want to charter a boat and stuff like that, like a lot of people, they buy boats and they charter them and stuff like this. This is definitely one of those opportunities. Just keep that in mind. Now, again, we said that the rates are definitely higher than the credit unions and the bank. But you have one big line of credit that you're able to take advantage of. I guess that's the reason they give you the higher lines of credit. Now, that being said, some of the reason that people may get turned down is because of this. All right. These are the states that they are currently lending in. So you got Alaska, Arkansas, Arizona. They're not in California yet. Okay, so they don't do California. As a matter of fact, these are the states. All right, so right here. Here's what they said. A credit score is not the sole factor into determining the approval. Now, I know some of you are like, well, how much income? Now, some people, they had weekly deposits of $1,000 plus in their personal checking account. And your bank has to be using Plaid. Okay, so your bank has to be using Plaid in order for them to verify your income and stuff like that. All right. Now, for those of you that may have bad credit but want to take advantage of this, I would tell you is to look at your situation. Pull your credit report and all of your open revolving accounts from smallest to largest, set them up and try to pay those down. Okay, try to pay those down to zero, but do not close the accounts out. Don't close the accounts out, just pay them down to zero. And as many as you can to try to get your credit score up to that at least a 680, especially if you have good income. This is definitely one of those situations if you have good income to take advantage of. Like I said, being able to finally buy multiple vehicles without having all the hard inquiries, okay? Now, somebody said, well, who actually owns the vehicle? Well, the line of credit, you're purchasing the vehicle, all right? So the title is in your name, but they hold a lien against the vehicle until it's paid off, okay? So that's the only way for them to secure their interest, all right? So that's what you need to know. It's definitely good, say that you already in the Toro and you have multiple loans and stuff on your personal credit. This is definitely one of those lenders that can possibly help you to take that line of credit and pay off all those other cars and stuff, and that's going to help your credit score jump up, right? Now, here's something else that you do need to know, and this is very important. After activating your line of credit, we may perform a soft credit check every 45 days. So say that they give you a $250,000 line of credit, okay? And they do a credit check, a soft pull to check your credit to see if there's any major changes and stuff within a 45-day period. So after that, say that you had some accounts that go delinquent, what they may do is reduce your line of credit, okay? Or if it comes to a certain extreme, if they feel they're not going to get their money back, they may just close you out, period. So that's some of the things you have to keep in mind. Silent loans that's not reporting, okay? Now, for some of you all that figure that, hey, this is a great opportunity. Yes, it is a great opportunity. But again, one of the bigger factors that I'm seeing is making sure you have good deposits. So if you're doing 1,000 plus a week going into your personal checking account, definitely an opportunity. Now, here's the thing about it. Let's go back to talking about the LLCs, about the business aspect of it. Now, granted that the line of credit is under your personal and everything, what you could do, whoever, say that you're going on Toro or you're going on one of those other car sharing sites and stuff, setting up that LLC and registering that LLC to those car sharing sites so the revenue can come in to the LLC is also going to help build up the business credit as well. So that means that you'll be able to raise more capital, get access to more funding. All right. Now, for those of you that don't know how to properly structure your business or you have questions, you can click the link in the description and schedule a one-on-one consultation, or click the link in the description so that our other affiliates can actually set up the LLC for you. All right. Now, if you have questions about business credit funding, personal credit funding, or removing negative items off of your credit report, click the link in the description. Thank you.